Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming to this session, and I'm super happy to be here with you today to discuss about how to win the battle between customer acquisition and customer retention. I am Kimberly Ofrecio. I am the Managing Director of Macdonald Hotels and Resorts. And just to give a little bit of a background of who I am and how I learned about customers, I started my journey with San Miguel Corporation. And whoever here likes to drink beer, a little bit of trivia. Here in EU, everybody thinks that San Miguel, the beer, is a Spanish beer. And then we've got Corona, which is a Mexican beer. But a trivia, San Miguel is actually an Asian beer. And the headquarters of San Miguel is in Philippines, Manila. So it's a Filipino brand. It's just that Spain has this exclusive distribution rights here in EU. So it's not Spanish. And then I went on to my journey to join a bigger company, which is IBM. Now, I learned here different types of customers. This is a B2B, selling softwares, hardwares, technology, data. So it's a completely different types of customers because you're managing business to businesses, banks, and you know what IBM is. Then I move on and joined Farfetch. Farfetch, which is my most recent company, it's a completely different types of customers as well. So now, previously from selling beers, which is how much is it? It's very cheap. Now I'm starting to sell big, expensive luxury brand. Farfetch is an e-commerce platform that joins all the big brands, all the boutiques and customers all in one single platform, selling all of this luxury, different types of product. So the customer behavior of Farfetch is totally different from someone who is just happy to buy a beer. So these are expensive. And the customers are people who basically has a lot of money. Then I move on in, which is what I am passionate about, is the travel industry. So I had a long time learning about different types of customers all over the world in the aviation industry. So I used to live in the Middle East, joined Etihad Airways for so many years, and the variety of the customers are completely wild and complicated because there are travelers who are infants. There are travelers who are couple, traveling with family and friends. There were students all over the world traveling to join different types of universities. And we even have football players who would rent the entire aircraft and then fly here and there to join their matches. So different types of customers. Then I move on and similarly joined Philippine Airlines and also an online travel agency, which is called Journey Hero. Unfortunately, they've gone bust because they started the company at a very depressing time, which is pandemic. So it's an online travel agency that is connecting all the hotels, all the airlines, as well as the car rental services. So thanks to all of this company that I learned a thing or two about customers, different types of segments, different behaviors, and completely different market. So let's go and then jump in about acquisition and retention. Please bear with me. I know it's a bit weird. It's online dating. It's very new, very modern. Hey, we're in e-commerce expo, right? Please bear with me because I wanted to start my session by having a little bit of comparison just to warm up the discussion. Can I ask anyone in the audience to raise your hand if you are single? Don't be shy. You don't know. Maybe you might meet someone here in the expo. Raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen, who are single. Only you guys. We've got a lot of women on this side. Raise your hand if you're already in a relationship, you're already married, or a couple, or whatever. Wow. Sorry, single folks. Raise your hand if you met your partner through an online dating app. Amazing. I myself is a success story of online dating. What if I ask you that customer acquisition and retention is actually just like online dating? Are you going to agree, believe me, or am I talking nonsense? I will tell you why in a second. For those who have used the online dating apps, I want you to ask yourself, are you the type of user of the online dating apps who always constantly swiping left and right because you want to collect a lot of matches? One. Two, are you the type of user of the online dating apps who would swipe until you get a considerable amount of matches, and then you stop there because you're the type of person who will nurture your relationship with those that you have already matched. Now, this is very important because that's how I'm going to relate the acquisition and the retention. So what do you do to meet your soulmate? First, you go in the app, and then you swipe left and right, and then you meet the person, right? And that is the acquisition stage. Next, you go out then on a date. You go start that first conversation with this person that you met on the app. You go and build that relationship. You try to, kind of sell yourself to this person. See, are we a good match? You're always putting your foot forward and showing the benefits that you can have in the table. And then see, this is a good person, this is not a good person. You're basically selling yourself. And this stage is what I call conversion. I see the gentleman laughing. And then what do you do once you have already converted this date of yours? Then you go into a relationship. And this, my folks, is what I call retention. So raise your hand if anyone here is a marketer. A lot of people. And marketing is amazing in creating this first relationship building with those customers. So you go into conversion, which are the marketing, amazing. Then you go to retention, and this is where all the other departments of the businesses comes in. Because some are not good at building that first relationship because maybe they're from product. But all the different types of departments, either pricing, you're from commercial, you're from strategy, you're from HR, finance, whoever that is, you are all part of the retention pool because it's all part of all of us to actually maintain that relationship with those customers that marketers have already brought into our business. So we need to keep those customers engaged, right? Now then, the tricky part is the last part of the journey. How do we create that long-lasting relationship? So now you've got the relationship, but the question is this going to last? Or is it just like for a short time period? And then you will hear that partner saying, oh, I would love you more if you listen. Because, folks, it's very important in businesses because what is really essential for us to thrive is we always need to listen to the needs and the wants of our customers, right? You might have already have that first relationship with them, but then you end up losing these customers just because you did not listen to them. And, folks, also in the relationship, we all know it, you might lose your partner if you don't listen to their needs and their wants. Now, do you believe me now when I say acquisition and retention is exactly the same as online dating? I'm not promoting the apps. I'm not working for any apps. It's just comparison. Customer acquisition and retention are both essential for growth. It focuses on one. You can't focus on one without the other. It's important to create strategies that harmonizes both of these areas. You can't thrive with your business if you're too focused in retaining your customers. You can't also thrive in your business if you're just collecting a lot of new customers. And this kind of shows why both are important. So growing through acquisition, it's a new lifeblood of the business. Acquiring new customers, it fuels the growth. It opens up new revenue streams and expands your market share. And then you also get all of the reach worldwide and discover lots of different markets. Effective acquisition strategies also increases visibility, helping your business reach new audiences. However, even though it's very good for the business, obviously, it's not a perfect world. It comes with a lot of challenges as well. Acquiring customers, it involves usually high cost, and for marketings, we know that having advertisements, promotions, and sales efforts, these are all expensive. And the first customer that you have already acquired, usually the profitability is quite low at the beginning. Because as a new customer, it takes a bit of time for them to be loyal to your brand, isn't it? Whereas comparing to those people who are already loyal to you, loyal customers are more profitable because retaining customers, they spend more over time. And if they are happy with your products and the services that you provide, they will eventually upsell and even, share your products to other people that they already know. So you're not spending money in promoting your products and services. It's your customers that are already loyal to you selling your brand. And loyal customers also involves lower costs but higher returns. Retaining customers is 6 to 7 times cheaper than compared to acquiring new ones. But also it comes with its own challenges as well, requiring ongoing engagement, personalized service and continued value. As I said earlier, relationship is it's not only on the first half. It's like a continuous learning that you always need to build your relationship. Similar to dating, similar also to the customers. If you don't keep them happy, you will lose those relationships. And stagnation too, if you are too focused on retention without acquiring new customers. So it's really important to balance both of this. And why it is important to balance both of it? Because balancing both the acquisition and the retention, it gives you a steady growth without losing touch with your existing customers or overspending so much of money just because you wanted to attract new ones. It also helps you balance the approach of your customer lifetime value is healthy, but also at the same time, you're not burning so much of resources because of your acquisition costs. So this is something that I would call the acquisition retention loop. So when new customers become loyal ones to you, if you focus on retaining strategies right from the very beginning that you actually had this conversation with that customer, it will then eventually lead to them being loyal to you, and then the retention feeds acquisition. This is where I said they will be the one, your own marketing vehicle, promoting your own brand without you telling your customer, like, hey, promote my brand, just because we have a happy, satisfied customers. It costs 6 to 7 times more to acquire a new customer. These are like statistics that are based on the research and the review that's been done by the Harvard business area. So I just wanted to show some stats on why it's important to have more of the retention rather than the growth, because it's 6.7 times more to acquire new customer than it does to retain existing customers. And a 5% increase in customer retention, that leads to potentially 25 to 95% increase in profitability, because cost is no longer involved. They are your marketers. They are your own vehicle promoting your own services. I just wanted to show here, these are all the brands that we all know. These are all the brands that we use every single day. I just wanted to show a comparison on how top brands excel at doing both. With Amazon, they're good at, we all know, excelling at getting all of their new customers, but also retaining, but how? So Amazon has the vast selection. They have competitive pricing. I myself have been acquired by Amazon during their Prime Day. It was so good, and then now suddenly I become loyal because of their promotions. They've got a lot of innovative services. On the other hand, once you're already a customer, how do they retain you? So they provide personalized recommendation, and sometimes it's scary. Like, how did Amazon know that I want this product? Because you immediately see it in your email. And they have a robust loyalty program. They offer free shipping. Everybody knows about it, and the same-day delivery. So this is how they acquire and make people retain. Apple, on the other hand, they attract customers because of arguable, for those who likes Android, cutting-edge and sleek design technology. Their products are designed to make our lives easier based on their user interface and user-friendly, intuitive design. But once you're already in the ecosystem of Apple, you'll be surprised on how much Apple products you eventually will have, because they're good at retaining you. They continuously innovate all of their products. They have a strong brand presence, and they have these good integrated services. I myself is very surprised. I was actually a loyal Android fan until at one point I just so curious. I want to buy an Apple phone, just because why Apple users are such a fan. I want to know that. And then a few years down the line, I was so surprised. Now I'm suddenly buying AirPods, having your laptop. And I was this person who used to say, I don't like Apple, but now I have so many products. It's just because the brand is so good at retaining and making me happy. Netflix, they have original contents. They change their contents too based on international different markets. So people who are traveling, let's say if you're in Asia, you see a different selection of movies and series. But if you go to America, you don't even see some of the movies that you saw in Asia in America. So they're quite good at personalizing that content, who you are as a person. And they, similar to Amazon, they have good personalized recommendation. If you like all this drama, crime series, then you're suddenly seeing all of these serial killers just because this is something that you've watched one day ago. And they have a lot of these exclusive shows like Emily in Paris. You can never get that from anywhere. It's just Netflix. So this is their way of retaining you as a loyal customer. Spotify, on the other hand, is really good at acquiring new customer by giving you something for free at the beginning. You know, there are people who has commitment issues. They don't want to commit immediately. So Spotify is good at that, where let me give you a 30 days free trial. You don't need to commit to me, no need to sign a contract, but once you like the product, then subscribe. So that's a good acquisition strategy. They're also good in making all of their social media campaigns viral. Some of you might have seen, like in Instagram, they have this some sort of like wrap-up music of the end of the year before 2025. And then people started sharing, oh, I've listened to a lot of Taylor Swift. And then it's basically celebrating music because a lot of other people who also are in the platform also listen to the same songs that you listened. They have good retention strategies, which includes you can personalize the playlist and you can share that playlist with your families and friends. And they have a very good, strong community because they are just good in celebrating music. Who doesn't like music? I would like now then to dive into how can we make use of the innovative promotions to acquire a customer and to make them loyal. So here are some example strategies on how to drive those customers. Like Spotify, as I just mentioned, they offer free trials or sample. That's one way. Next one is like what Farfetch is doing. We provide significant discounts on the first purchase, and we incentivize, even though you're not going to buy, we incentivize you by giving you a discount just because you signed up. So that you get all of the emails, so that in the future, when you're all ready to buy a product, you get this discount for you. And then referral programs, for example, from Uber, you get new users gets ride credits just for signing up. And then if I'm already an existing user, you get credits as well if I refer you to someone else. Now, how to foster loyalty and retention through promotion? An example is like loyalty programs. And some of you probably might have heard one of the speeches earlier from H&M. They are really good at loyalty programs. It provides exclusive rewards, early accesses to their sales. You offer points, and then when you get all of those points, you can use those points to purchase your next transaction without spending money, just because you are already loyal to them. So they're really good at making you feel special. Exclusive offers and discount, this is again another way of making you feel special, like Booking.com when it's your birthday, just because they have your data, they know when are you going to celebrate your birthday. And who doesn't want to get happy birthday on your birthday, right? So they make you feel like special on the day that you are meant to be special. So you get all of those exclusive discounts as well. And personalized recommendations, i.e. what I've mentioned earlier from Netflix. I will then want to move on to how can we leverage technology and data analytics. Technology and data analytics is really essential for balancing both of the areas because it enables businesses to gain actionable insights, personalize the customer experience, optimizing your marketing strategy, forecast what's going to happen in the future, so that you know exactly what kind of strategies do you need per customer, per market. Technology and data analytics, using those data to create detailed customer segments for targeted marketing. Some of the other big companies, especially the global ones, you might see a deal that is available only in one part of the world, but you don't see it on the other part of the world. So this is a good segmentation strategy because probably you don't need the promotion in Americas because America is performing like really well, whereas your Chinese market, probably it's really struggling because there is economic crisis happening on that market. So you don't essentially want to use your budget to create a promo for a US market that's already performing well, but using your technology and your data, you know that you need it only from one market. You can also forecast behaviors and identify high-value prospects for better targeting, and this is essential for businesses because you need to forecast your future. How can you know, how can you say that you're successful without actually having that target right from the early beginning of the journey and trying to forecast that how successful will I be a few months down the line? CRM integration, manage interactions and track engagement histories to tailor strategies. And sometimes we even get spammed from a lot of companies, especially during Black Friday, for example, where all the businesses worldwide just want to talk to us via email. Personalized campaigns, customized messaging, if you are a loyal customer, if you are a new customer, optimized customer journey, you analyze, because of you have the data and the technology to do it, you can analyze different touch points to enhance the customer experience and address the pain points. And then it's important to invest in automation because imagine if I take you back 30 years ago, imagine you've got a set of marketing people sending messages and emails one by one to each of your customer. Imagine how slow the reach is to achieve global. Whereas now, having that automation in place, you can just send thousands of emails in just a snap. Now, I wanted to highlight how integrated teams can drive growth together. Integrated teams drive businesses' growth by fostering collaboration and leveraging diverse expertise to address the challenges more effectively. By aligning all of the goals, it creates this cohesion and it ensures a unified approach in building all of your strategies and achieving the business objectives, which then eventually leads to an improved efficiency and accelerated growth. It's very important, we all know this, it's very painful. When the departments are working in siloed, it's so hard and the decision making is just so slow just because you're fighting with the interest of the other department. Like sales, for example, we always like the price low, 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 but on the other hand, commercial team wants to increase the price. Because we are not having this unified goal, it's quite hard because you're always struggling. Have cross-functional goals, such as, as I mentioned earlier, aligning all those KPIs. And it's essential to have this regular feedback loops so that you know where you are in terms of, your objectives. When department works in silos and they don't collaborate with each other, it can lead to, 1, miscommunication, 2, inefficiencies, and we hate inefficiencies. Duplicated efforts resulting in slower decision-making, missed opportunities for innovation and growth. And I'm running out of time, and I'm almost near the end of my presentation. So I put it as a Venn diagram just to visually show how one department collaborate with each other and how can we all help each other to achieve the same goal. You are not supposed to compete with the other departments. You're supposed to help each other to achieve the same goal of the business that you are working for. And I want to leave you all with a famous quote from Walt Disney. This is a timeless quote that he mentioned. He said, "Do it so well that they will want to see it again and bring their friends." And this philosophy perfectly shows why customer acquisition and retention is essential. Because, when we do our job really, really good, you get all of these satisfied customers. And then when they are happy with your product, you're not just achieving those customized service, this approved, good, satisfied customers, because they will eventually lead to your loyal advocates, and they will be more than happy to come back and purchase and do the transaction with your businesses, and also be your own marketing and be your own advertisement. So I would leave to say that we should all strive to this excellence of products and works and kind of services. We should always be having this mindset that we should all be working together whenever we start discussing with our customers, because when we do that excellence, it will eventually have a good impact with your company. And that's me. Thank you for listening. Thank you. I hope you see the value of online dating. I love that slide. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to come and have a chat.